Hi there. Are you looking for a calm space to find in this turbulent world? Are you looking for more love, more peace, and more abundance in your life? Do you want to wake up each day with greater purpose and feel more fulfilled? If you are, then CSLNJ is the place for you. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Over the past 2 decades, our open and affirming community has created a safe space for all to come and be uplifted. I hope you enjoy watching. And if you like what you see, please visit us at cslnj.org.
Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Woke up again.
Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Walking and talking.
Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit.
Yeah,
Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
living and praying.
Living and praying with my mind stayed on spirit. Living and praying with my mind stayed on spirit. Living and praying with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Woke up.
And I woke up this morning with my mind
Yeah.
stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah. Look who's in the house.
Forgot I turned this off. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone today? Good. Welcome, one and all, to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, where, say it with me loud and proud, we are an open and affirming science of mind community where the vibration of love lifts you, the wisdom of the ages inspires you, and the science of mind teaching empowers you. We believe that heaven and hell are states of consciousness that you experience in this lifetime, that you are the architect of your life, and that it is never too late to know true happiness. I want to thank you all for being here in person. Thank you all for being here online. Thank you all who are watching this after the fact on YouTube. And if you're with us in any of those ways for the first time, I welcome you, and as it has been said, if you are here for the first time, you are a guest. After that, you are family. Yes. A few people to thank today. I want to thank Beth and Chris for being our musical practitioners today. Joe, of course, for our technology. Our speaker today is Reverend Neil Pinkman. I would like to thank our practitioner of the day and our meditation leader, Brian Jude Pietkowski. Oh, that's me. And our host, that's also me. And hey, if you can't thank yourself, who can you thank, right? Because we are all one. Oh my gosh, our hospitality crew. Edna and Cheryl, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Edna, for hosting a wonderful party yesterday. And our greeter, Marcy. Hi, Marcy. I can't see her, she can't see me, but we are grateful for her as well. And grateful for all of you. And from there, you know what? We'll just go right back to the music with our opening chant, and I'll be right back to pray with y'all.
So settle in. Be the embodiment itself of spirit. Take a few breaths. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
Some of the most powerful words ever spoken. Stillness, consciousness, the knowing that I, you, God, consciousness, there is no separation. Those are all words for one thing. Our purpose for being here is to fully embrace, understand, ingest, and live that consciousness. To be still and know that I, the I that I am, the I that you are, the I, one, am God. And so as we come here to celebrate that oneness, that I am presence, that I am consciousness, I bless this message. I bless this word. I bless every word spoken. I bless every word sung. I bless every note played. I bless every vibration of the sound echoed through the air into this microphone, through the wires, through the speakers. Everywhere this sound reaches throughout the universe. The vibration of that energy that reaches the vibration inside of our ears, inside of our minds, inside of our consciousness, that gets amplified throughout the universe. We are awakening to this truth right now and becoming more and more aware of the truth that I am God, I am consciousness, I am. And it is with gratitude and love that I surrender this word into life, into light, into law, into universal truth. And so it is.
So please join me. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
Did it again. Momentary lapse of consciousness. But maintaining consciousness and knowing who and what we are, which has tended to be the theme for the morning so far. It is also our theme for the year. And so we have our yearly affirmation, which is the audacity to awaken. And I'll invite you to read that affirmation along with me in your programs, or if you're online, it is in the chat. I awaken today with the courage to see myself clearly and love myself wholly as I am and as I am not. I open my heart to curiosity, trusting that every question leads me deeper into truth. I embrace conscious evolution, knowing that life is always expanding through me. I release what no longer serves and boldly claim my divine power. I am awake, I am courageous, and I am fully alive to the brilliance of my becoming. The stool. It helps. All right, relax, calm down. Don't get so excited. Take your shoes off. Stay a while. Yeah, it's good just to have a conversation, you know? Let's just talk. Anybody got any interesting topics? Oh, I do. Or at least I'm supposed to. We didn't, again, follow the CSL model for this year, the different themes. I just was not taken by them, and conversations I've had with other ministers, spiritual directors, they've same thing. And when this came through the year as the audacity to awaken, I was like, that's good. That's good. Because that's a big statement. That's a lot. The audacity to awaken. And I seem to be okay with all the monthly different topics, you know, variations of it. And then I looked at May and said, yeah, I don't know. You know, this the audacity to heal. And I thought, does it really take audacity to heal? I mean, healing is something we do just naturally anyway, without even thinking about it. Do we have a doctor in the house that can verify this? Our bodies just know how to heal. It's the miracle of the anatomy of the body. And if you've ever studied anatomy of the body, it's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing, okay? Why is there this little hole somewhere in a bone or something that allows for a nerve to go through it precisely there in everybody? I think it's called the foramen, actually, that little hole. But we're healing all the time. That's what we're doing. So when we talk about the audacity to heal, I think the real audacity comes from knowing that we have that power. And our challenge is not necessarily the healing portion of it, but to step into the awake portion of the knowing and being aware of the knowing that we have this incredible power. And it all comes back to the same thing, whether we're trying to heal something, whether we're trying to manifest something or demonstrate something in our lives. The real audacity is to step up and say, yeah, I got it. It's me. I got it. I got the power. I know that I have this. And a lot of people would make that statement. But we can, absolutely, positively, because it is something that we absolutely know. And I think that's the one thing that really is where the audacity comes into play, the boldness. I mean, it's just, it comes from what? A Latin word that means bold, audacity. And it's doing bold things. And that's the bold thing, is to step up and say, I got this. I can do this. I have the power to do this. I'm aware that I have the power to do this. And I have nothing to do with this power other than acknowledging it. Once I acknowledge it and accept it, I can use it. There was Benjamin Disraeli who said that success is the child of audacity. Right? Think about it. You don't have a lot, there's some areas I know personally myself where, as long as I've known myself, there's some things where I'm not just going to jump up and say, yeah, I'll take the lead on that. Like, if we were trying to feed ourselves many years ago, you guys would never eat lobster, because I don't have the audacity to look and go, I could eat that thing. I'm just not that, it's like, yeah, no, I don't think so. It's like, it's crunchy, it hurts, I don't know, But there were people who were audacious enough to say, what the hell, let's eat it, and the person who has that statement to make, and that's where success comes from, which is fantastic. And I think this applies maybe more to what we talked about with curiosity than it necessarily does to healing. Because what does it mean to be healed? By the way, you don't have to think of any of these as hypothetical or whatever questions. Shout out anything if anything crosses your mind, because it's what we believe, what we think, what we know that controls this. But what does healed really mean to you? Whole. Yeah. Yeah. That's audacity. Having the chutzpah to do it. Yeah.
The expression of divine perfection.
That's healed. That's healing is. Yeah. So, and I believe it was Holmes who said, because he takes this idea into spiritual mind treatment and doing spiritual mind treatment and using prayer, right,
in order to do healing work. And then, what it says about that too is something important, is the fact that the answer to our prayer is in the acceptance of it. And that's where I think the audacity part comes in, that we have the audacity to know that, right? And healing itself is, when we approach it this way, it really becomes a radical spiritual practice, not just something that is something we do only when we're sick. We step into the ability of being in this place all the time, knowing that where we come from is perfect, whole, and complete. Okay? I had another, let me see if Holmes had, and the way Holmes really at one point in the book puts it, and it would make sense that he would say this, healing is the change of thought. Right? I mean, that's what all of this is based on. It's that simple. Healing is a change of thought. I know it's change your thinking, change your mind. It's a little broader than that in reality. But the thought being that you have the audacity to think the thought you can do it. You can do it. We all can do it. But again, what does it mean? And the change of thought in Holmes' mind means that healing means going back to truth. What's the truth? What do I know? Where is that perfection? That divine perfection. That's when healing happens. It's when that thought goes back to knowing truth, as stated in principle. So think for a minute about what does healing really look like? Correct. And anybody would take a stab at what that might be? What we just talked about? Right, exactly. It's when we step away from truth, right? When the real pain that we go through comes because of separation. The illusion of separation, because separation doesn't really exist. But when we step out and as we used to say, get stinking thinking, we separate ourselves, we think we're separate from truth with a capital T, then we suffer. Right? Maybe we don't suffer, maybe we get out of it real fast. But it's what causes us discomfort, for sure. But I was thinking about it too, because you all know what I'm going through in my particular situation, and I was thinking about this, well, where would I consider myself healed with all that I'm going through? Does healing mean that a certain condition is under control? Is ultimately healing the bottom line? What I was thinking was, if healing is bringing something back to its truth and perfection, then maybe the true healing is death. This is just, all I'm is throwing my brain out there and what goes through it. Because I've told you guys before, when we look at healing, and it's funny because these people have come back up in my life and Michelle's life, but this client from a long time ago, and I think I've told you the story of him, his best friend having the identical cancer he had, except one was bone and one was soft tissue cancer, Ewing sarcoma. Best friend lived next door. They both got it when they were like 20 years old. This guy came to me, did the spiritual work, got into the whole meditation, but his family brought him in, and his best friend didn't want to do that, and his friend died. And 10 years later, or even more, it wasn't that long ago, about 2 years ago or more, a lot of years later, I'm talking with Keith, and he says, he goes, I can't help but wonder about all the stuff that Alan has missed. Alan was his friend who had died. And he said, all this life I've had and all this stuff that's gone on, and, I really feel like Alan, he had survivor's remorse, right? Is that what it's called? And I said, okay, I get it. But just think with me for a minute. What if Alan's up on the other side somewhere going, I can't believe Keith didn't get out. I can't believe Keith's been stuck there this whole time. God, I wish he could have made it with me. He would have seen so much. He would have experienced so much. And he stopped and he went, oh. So healing in that regard looks a little different. The other one that I know I've told you guys about before was a good friend of mine who had a stroke, and I would go over and help him come back from the stroke, and what I would do is dance with him in the basement of the house, get him up on his feet. I'd hold him and support him, and one time he looked at me and said, Neil, I just want to be, and he stopped, and I said, come on, say it. I know what you're going to say, so say it. He goes, I just want to be normal again. Now, healing to him meant being normal. Normal. Yeah. And no, warm would be for me, but that works for him. And I said, so Eric, tell me what that means. Well, I want to be able to do the stuff I used to do. I said, so normal to you and being healed means that you would be like before you had the stroke. Yeah. I said, well, you get whatever you ask for. So if your desire is to be a 51-year-old male who's about to have a stroke, you're going to get it, but you'll get it all over again, So his idea of being healed was to be what he was before. Is our idea of being healed, meaning resorting back to something that we just happen to know and we felt good at the time? Is that where we want to go with healing, or is healing something else? And yeah, I am totally open to the idea that we throw it around in different ways, right? Listen, as a Reiki master, I trained hundreds of people in Reiki. And every class that I started with to work with them, I said, by the way, I'm not going to teach you anything you don't know already. We all know that truth. We all know that place, and everything else gets in the way of it. Hands-on healing, everybody knows, because every time you have a kid, this is not in the manual, so you may want to write this down. You have a kid, and they scrape their knee, and what is the mother runs up and puts her hands on the knee, right? So you can do that too if you want. And, that's the healing. That's the energy. That's the connection. That desire to get to the truth of that. And that is, I don't know, this is why this idea of if we have something going on and we want to change it and we feel like we need to heal something, we need to look closely at what it is we're really trying to heal. Because what you really need to heal is probably a little bit further back down the line than where you are right now with whatever it is that's that's going on. It's because healing's not fixing. Healing's returning. It's returning to that perfection where we are all perfect. We all have that basis in us, that the use of what Holmes says, there's a power in the universe and you can use it. And you can use it for whatever you want. But let's just use the term God for right now. God, life, universe, higher power, whatever it is. Do you believe God has a problem? Then why would you? If we are really a true expression of that divine energy, then principles don't have problems. God doesn't have a problem. Even though you may sometimes exclaim that rather loudly. And that, to me, that's the base of it all. To me, I think healing, even as I'm talking about it right now, just gets me back to the idea that just back to truth. That's what real healing is. And I may heal partially. My awareness may come up to a certain better, higher level than my awareness was before. My awareness certainly of where this lives in me in a day-to-day life. What triggers it? What brings it up? What causes me to be uncomfortable? And where is that illusion of separation happening so that I catch on to it quicker? None of us is perfect. We're all going to have days where we go, I can't believe that got to me. And other days where whatever it was, oh yeah, gone. It dissolves, goes away in a second, because the awareness of what's going on gives you instant capability of releasing it and just letting it go and have it not bother you. Well, you do if yes. If you have the audacity to embrace it, I guess that's what I'm saying. It takes, a lot of people don't want to embrace that. But you get to the point where all of this happens like that. Ernest Holmes had one particular practice out of Catholicism that he liked, that he thought was very good, and that was confessions. Which is, I don't know how many, people loved going into the confessional in the back of the room. I don't know, but it wasn't me. But he liked it because the whole idea of a confessional is forgiveness, where you're being granted forgiveness. Now, different from us, we don't believe you need to have somebody else sitting on the other side of the screen in that box in order to get there. But for people that is a substantial thing, then that's great. That's fantastic. Because if it works, it works. How's it working for you? Well, you happy? Great. That's fine. But he loved it because forgiveness is so important and so key. And he said that confessional can have somebody experience instant forgiveness, and that forgiveness is the only thing that can interrupt karma. Yeah, he believed it's in this Reader's Digest version over here. He believed that forgiveness was the only thing that could interrupt karma. And when you think about that, that's a heavy-duty statement, and certainly gives a lot of credibility to doing a lot of forgiveness work. I've done a lot, found out I needed to do more. Thought I was okay, thought I was caught up on it. Did more, found out I needed to do more. So let's see. And as you begin to align your thought with that truth, as you begin to accept even a little more of your inherent wholeness, you may find that something begins to soften, to open, to shift. And that's healing, is kind of remembering from within, remembering that truth from within. I don't think I had this before, but I just found this quote from Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, and I just thought it was really simple and very powerful. Love is the most powerful and still most unknown energy in the world. It is a heavy statement in very simple form. All right. Let's do a little short treatment. What do you say? Yes, I know there's a power and a presence, and there's power greater than I am, and I can use it. And that is true for every being, every single being on this plane. There is a presence, a power, and a love that is whole, complete, and perfect. It's here. It lives inside. It lives as each of us. It knows no lack, no limitation, no separation. And right here, right now, I align with that truth. It is so important. It is so beneficial to everything in my life. I accept healing, not even as a process, but as a presence and as a knowing. Something that's already there. And by stepping into truth, it becomes activated beyond our comprehension. And in that acceptance, something beautiful is revealed. You. So with an enormous amount of gratitude for this topic, this delving, this wanting to know more, this curiosity about all of these principles of this teaching. So grateful for all of them and for the curiosity to want to learn more, be more, and do more with them. And I know that for every person here and every person who hears these words. So I surrender these words to the power and that presence, the love and that law that make it all happen. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment here, to the new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Ah, yes, I am. I am spiritually fed. I think we all are. Thank you, Reverend Neil. And as we are spiritually fed, let us be reminded that it is good to give back where we are spiritually fed. For in that giving, we receive. And in that receiving, we are able to give more. That's the cycle of life. And in that consciousness, let us read along our conscious giving affirmation. I bless this gift that I give today. I give this gift my heart, and I give it mindfully. May my gift go further to heal, prosper, and bless this center and all who enter. I accept all good that comes as a result of this flow, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. And we know that there are many ways available for us to give electronically. Physically, if you are here, there's a bowl with envelopes in the back. You can fill that out if you'd like to be acknowledged for your contribution, or do so anonymously. It's up to you. Let's see here. And we have other announcements as well. Opportunities. Next Sunday, we will be in person and on Zoom. Our speaker will be Reverend Michelle, speaking on Mother's Day. The topic will be, "Hey, Ma!" The following Sunday, May 17th, Tony Hamilton will be speaking about the conundrum of healing. And let's see here. And that will be on Zoom only. And, of course, that will be the discussion on the voting in of our new bylaws. Last week, check your emails if you haven't seen it already. The copy of the bylaws were handed out for your review. There will also be a link in the bylaws, which will be posted on the website, cslnj.org. And for the next few weeks, there will be a copy of the new bylaws for your review here with us on Sunday, so check those out as well. May 24th, Reverend Joel will be speaking with us, Owning Your Power Without Apology. That's on Zoom, or is that here? Or both? That is Zoom only. And then May 31st will be in person. Reverend Dr. Michelle once again with Discipline and Determination and the Not So Sexy Necessary Subjects. Perfect for our youth day. Don't know how that came about, but anyway. And that, my friends, is all we wrote.
For Spiritual Living North Jersey, we believe in empowering individuals to discover their inner strength and their connection to divine life. Through our supportive community, transformative workshops, and uplifting services, we provide a safe space for personal growth and spiritual exploration. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper understanding of life's mysteries, our center offers practical tools and timeless wisdom to help you thrive. Join us in creating a more diverse, compassionate, and kind world. Your world, the way you want to create it.